It's a strange paradox of aging that the most comfortable position, sitting in your favorite chair, is actually the one quietly stealing your mobility, often without you even noticing it happening. We think we are resting, conserving our energy for later, but for the complex machinery of our hips and pelvis, that stillness is actually the hardest state to endure. When we remain seated for hours while reading, watching the news, or enjoying a meal, we are unknowingly pinching off the vital highways that carry fresh blood and oxygen to our legs and lower organs. That heavy, leaden feeling you might experience in your legs, or that nagging stiffness when you first try to stand up, is rarely just a symptom of age. It is usually a silent cry from your body asking for circulation. But here is the wonderful truth that often gets overlooked. You do not need to become a marathon runner or join a busy gym to reverse this. You simply need to reintroduce specific, gentle movements that remind your body how to function efficiently. Today, we are going to walk through 5 very specific, low-impact movements designed to restore that essential blood flow, wake up the pelvic floor, and lubricate those stiff hip joints, all from the comfort of your own home. I want to respect your time and your health, so we are going to bypass the long theories and get straight to the practical healing, because reclaiming your comfort is the most important task on our agenda today. Please find a comfortable space on the floor, perhaps on a carpet or a sturdy mat, and let's begin this journey toward a more mobile you. Our first movement is something that might feel a little unusual if you have never done it before, but it is historically one of the most effective techniques for deep pelvic health. We call this the glute walk, or simply walking on your seat. It acts as a remarkably effective internal massage for your pelvic organs, shifting weight and manually encouraging fluid movement through the entire pelvic girdle. Whether you are focused on prostate health, gynecological health, or simply improving a sluggish digestion, this movement is a powerhouse. Start by sitting flat on the floor with your legs extended straight out in front of you. Posture is key here, so imagine there is a golden thread attached to the crown of your head, gently pulling you upward toward the ceiling, keeping your spine tall and dignified. Keep your knees soft, don't lock them tight, and hold your arms out comfortably in front of you for balance. Now we are going to move forward, but not with our feet. Lift your right hip and scoot it forward, then the left hip. You should feel those distinct, hard bones at the base of your pelvis, your sits bones, acting as your feet. Let your heels slide along the floor, but let the power come entirely from your hips and core. Shuffle forward for a few paces, breathing rhythmically, and then reverse the engine. Shuffle backward, right hip back, left hip back. We are aiming to do this for about 1 minute. Now, I want to be very clear about safety because your comfort is my priority. If you have lower back concerns or your core feels a bit tired today, please do not strain to stay upright unsupported. Simply place your hands on the floor beside you and use your arms as pillars to support your spine. You will still get all the benefits of the hip movement without risking your back. The golden rule for everything we do today is that we are looking for effort, not pain. A little warmth and work are good, but sharp pain is a signal to stop. As you continue this shuffling motion, visualize the circulation waking up in your lower abdomen, bringing warmth to areas that have been stagnant. If you have the energy, you can pause and do a second round, but 1 solid minute is a brilliant start. Before we transition to our standing movements, if you are finding this explanation clear and helpful, please take a brief moment to tap the like button. It truly helps these health tips reach other seniors who might be struggling with stiffness today. Now, let's slowly make our way to a standing position for our second movement, which focuses on the inner thighs. This is the wide stance pulse. Over the years, because we often sit with our knees together or legs crossed, the inner thigh muscles, the adductors, can become short and tight, which pulls on the pelvis and creates lower back tension. This exercise is the antidote. I want you to stand with your feet wider than your shoulders, turning your toes out slightly so you feel stable. Place your hands on your hips or weight, slide them down your thighs as you gently bend your knees. Imagine you are sinking down into a wide, sturdy base. Rest your hands on your thighs just above the knees so your arms are supporting your upper body weight. This takes the pressure off your spine. In this position, we aren't going to remain static, we are going to gently pulse up and down. Think of it like a rhythmic, soothing bounce, just an inch or two. This pulsing action works like a pump, mechanically squeezing the tissues to flush out old, stagnant fluid and inviting fresh, nutrient-rich blood to rush in. If your knees are sensitive or if a wide stance feels precarious, please use the modified version. Stand just slightly wider than shoulder width, keep the knee bend very shallow, just a mini dip, and use a chair or wall in front of you for balance if needed. We want to do 4 or 5 gentle pulses, then slowly straighten your legs to stand tall. Take your time coming up to avoid any dizziness. Repeat this cycle 4 or 5 times. You might feel a stretch in the groin area, which is exactly what we want. This is creating space in the hip capsule and reminding those tight muscles that it is safe to lengthen. Let's move directly to my personal favorite for decompression, a movement called the pendulum. Gravity is usually the force compressing our joints as we walk and stand, but in this exercise, we are going to flip the script and use gravity to create space. You will need a wall for balance and a small prop, a folded yoga mat, a thick book, or even just wearing one shoe while the other foot is bare creates enough height difference. Stand sideways to the wall. The leg furthest from the wall is your standing leg. Place that foot on your prop so you are slightly elevated. Place your hand firmly on the wall for absolute stability. Now, the leg closest to the wall should be dangling freely in the air, not touching the floor. This is where the magic happens. I want you to use your muscles to lift that dangling leg up toward your chest. Squeeze it up. And then, this is crucial, let it drop completely dead. Do not lower it carefully. Let it fall like a heavy, wet rope. The momentum of that drop will create a gentle traction, pulling the leg bone just slightly away from the hip socket. It provides almost instant relief for arthritic hips that feel jammed or stuck. The rhythm is active lift, passive drop. Swing it, lift, and drop. We are looking for about 10 repetitions on this side. It requires a bit of mental practice to truly let the leg go limp, but when you do, you will feel a soothing release in the joint. Once you have finished one side, simply turn around and switch legs. Stand on the prop with the other foot, hand on the wall, and repeat the process with the inside leg. Lift with strength, release with total relaxation. This is creating micro space in the joint capsule, allowing synovial fluid to coat the surfaces that usually grind together. For our fourth movement, we are going to bring the focus back to stability with the seated towel squeeze. Please grab a standard bath towel and roll it up into a firm, thick cylinder. Sit down on a sturdy dining chair, ideally scooting forward slightly so your back is not resting against the chair, which forces your core to engage. Place the rolled towel between your knees. This exercise targets the adductors again, but this time we are strengthening them. Strong inner thighs are the secret to knee stability and better bladder control, issues that often trouble us as we age. The pattern here is simple but focused. Squeeze the towel with your knees as firmly as you comfortably can for a count of 2, and then relax for a count of 2. Squeeze 1, 2, and release 1, 2. It is very common to accidentally hold your breath during the squeeze, so I want you to consciously breathe out as you squeeze the towel and breathe in as you relax. We are aiming for about 10 repetitions. There is no need to crush the towel with all your might, just a firm, consistent pressure is enough to wake these muscles up. If you haven't worked these muscles in a while, they might feel a little surprised, perhaps even threaten to cramp. If that happens, simply pause, rub the muscle gently, and continue with less intensity. 2 sets of 10 repetitions are perfect. This is a wonderful, invisible exercise you can do while watching television or sitting at the breakfast table, keeping your hips secure without anyone even knowing you are working out. We have arrived at our final movement, which I like to think of as the dessert of this routine because it feels so rewarding. This is the figure 4 stretch, specifically designed to target the piriformis muscle and the deep rotators of the hip. When these muscles are tight, they can pinch the sciatic nerve and cause that radiating discomfort many of us know too well. For this, we need to lie down. You can do this on your floor mat, but if getting down to the floor is a struggle, you can absolutely do this lying on your bed. You will need a wall or a headboard to place your foot against. Lie on your back and scoot close enough to the wall so you can place your left foot flat against it with your knee bent at a comfortable angle. Now, take your right leg, bend the knee, and cross your right ankle over your left thigh, just above the knee. If you look at your legs, they should form the shape of the number 4. This might already give you a strong stretch in the right hip. If you need more, You can gently use your hand to press the right thigh away from you, or simply scoot your body a little closer to the wall. We are going to hold this position for about 30 seconds to a minute. Close your eyes. Let your head and shoulders melt into the floor or mattress. There is no need to pull or force anything here. Gravity and geometry are doing the work for you. Visualize the tightness in your outer hips slowly unraveling like a knot being untied. Breathe deeply, sending oxygen to that tight area. After you have held it, slowly uncross your legs and switch sides. Place the right foot on the wall and cross the left ankle over. You might notice one side is tighter than the other. That is completely normal. Just breathe through it. This stretch is incredible for improving the elasticity of the pelvic floor and making walking feel lighter. As we finish that final stretch, please take your time. Uncross your legs, roll gently onto your side, and use your arms to push yourself up to a seated position. There is no rush. We want to avoid any head rushes. I would love to know where in the world you are joining me from today. It brings me such joy to see our community growing across oceans and borders, so please take a moment to leave a comment with your country or state. If you haven't already, consider subscribing so you don't miss our next session on longevity and pain-free living. You should feel a difference now, perhaps a looseness in the hips that wasn't there 20 minutes ago, or a sense of warmth in your lower body. Remember, the goal of these exercises is not to turn back the clock, but to wind it up so it keeps running smoothly. Consistency is far more valuable than intensity. Doing these gentle movements every day or every other day is infinitely better than a strenuous workout once a month that leaves you hurting. Motion truly is lotion for our joints. As long as we keep moving, we keep our independence. If you have questions or if a movement felt tricky, ask me in the comments, and I will do my best to guide you. Be proud of the time you invested in yourself today. Take care of your body, treating it with the kindness it deserves, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.